Hi, my name is Dr. Felucia, and I'm a licensed psychologist. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing why it is so hard to make decisions after going through spiritual abuse. Now, this video will be a part of a series called Why Is This So Hard? In which I examine why seemingly basic things can seem so hard and exhausting and may even seem impossible after you are going through or have gone through spiritual abuse. So, back to the topic at hand. Why is decision making so challenging after spiritual abuse? I would argue that the one main reason is because in spiritually abusive situations and institutions, decisions are made for you. And people have told me this, that they've been told, okay, well, you can't marry this person. You have to marry this person. You have to stay at this church for this long, or if you leave, bad things will happen. And so decisions are directly or indirectly made for you. And so you haven't had the chance really to make a lot of decisions. And when people constantly make decisions for you, that lowers your ability or your confidence in your ability to make decisions, right? Just like I've talked about gaslighting before, the gaslighting operates in such a way where you begin to perceive your ability, to doubt your ability, rather, doubt your ability to perceive what is going on around you. Okay. So, first reason, decisions are made for you, either directly or indirectly. The second reason that it can be really challenging to make decisions after spiritual abuse is because you've been told that you are not capable of making decisions, right? And again, this is done directly at times, but mostly indirectly. Spiritually abusive environments don't announce what, kind of the sinister things that are going on, right? And so instead of saying, well, you're too stupid or flawed to make your decision, it's done indirectly. And so you'll hear things like, well, we can't trust our emotions, or the heart above all else is deceitful. You'll hear things like that. But then you also have to ask yourself, well, if the heart is deceitful, then why are you making decisions for other people, right? But again, this you've been indirectly told, or indirectly communicated to you, that you are not capable of making good and correct decisions, okay? And this can be done in a variety of ways. A lot of times by misusing scriptures, or just even taking basic concepts and twisting it to fit their own agenda, right? So that can happen. Another big element is fear, okay? And fear, spiritually abusive environments do a lot of controlling through fear. And you'll see elements of fear through all of this, but there's this fear in particular about like making the wrong decisions. So decisions are either the right decision or the wrong decision. And it's only one right decision. If you don't make that right decision, your life is going to fall apart. And a lot of times this is communicated again through fear. And so there's, how are you going to just make decisions on your own and feel comfortable with it when this is all you've been told, that if you make the wrong one, that all these bad things are going to happen to you. When in reality, there are probably multiple decisions that one can make that would still lead to favorable outcomes, or even the same outcome. We don't know, but having fear, making decisions based out of fear, is not going to work out for you. And the reason is because you're not making decisions from a rational and confident place. You're making it to avoid something instead of achieving something. And so when we think about these things, this fear that is permeating all these decisions, it can be really challenging to figure out, well, what do I do? And something I've said before on this channel, and I will say again, is that a lot of these things are developed through skill building. And so you have to realize that I don't think you're ever going to feel, oh, I'm ready now to make decisions on my own and not worry about it. I'm not sure when that point will come, but instead of waiting for that point to come, start making decisions on your own, right? And so you can start with a small decision and even try and make the wrong decision, right? So maybe you are going one way, to a certain place you go to all the time. Maybe take a different route, something small like that can teach you that it's okay for things not to be this way or disaster. You're literally learning that because you're taking different roads to get to the same place. One thing that spiritually abusive environments thrive on is making these very strict delineations at times, right? So basically saying you either have, there's a right decision or there's a wrong decision. There's good or there's disaster. And with some cases they are, but that's not always the case. So again, how do you deal with this? First thing, make a wrong decision, right? Maybe a wrong turn and see how you get to where you're going. And then the second thing is I'd like for you to get a journal, right? And write something that doesn't even have to be a journal. It could be a piece of paper, and think about an upcoming decision that you are thinking about making, right? And then I want you to put in one column what the spiritually abusive environment would tell you to do and why, and list the reasons, right? So maybe for you, it's going to, follow your, like maybe go into a secular instead of a religious field, right? And so you're going to hear the spiritually abusive environment telling you, well, you shouldn't do that. You're wasting your talent. You're using it for worldly things or the devil or whatever, right? So write all those things down, and then write what you feel you need to do, right? And everyone comes to their decisions on their own. They can pray, they can talk to wise, trusted counsel, but the point is they are not making the decision because someone else is telling them to do it, right? So when you make your decision, what decision would you arrive to and why? So your reasons, your decision and your reasons on one column, spiritually abusive environment and their reasons on the other hand. And the thing is, some of them may even overlap, right? And that's okay, but I want you to be able to separate and delineate what is yours and what has been carried over from the spiritually abusive environment. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you all in the comment section. How have you dealt with decision-making processes since either leaving a spiritually abusive environment or being in the process of doing so? And do you have any recommendations for others who are in the same boat? So I'd love to hear from you. To book your free consultation with me, just email me. The link on my website may not be working as well as I thought in terms of getting referrals to me. So just email me directly. And if you've gone through the website and you haven't heard from me, please email me directly. Okay? I hope you have a wonderful day that is filled with peace. Bye-bye.